French President Emmanuel Macron has publicly acknowledged the remarkable success of the debut RPG, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, developed by French studio Sandfall Interactive. Taking to Instagram, Macron congratulated the team, comprised partly of former Ubisoft developers, highlighting the game selling over 1 million copies within its first 3 days, despite being a day-one Game Pass release. He lauded the title as one of the best-rated games in history. It holds a high score on Metacritic, and praised the developers as a shining example of French audacity and creativity. This commendation reflects Macron's broader support for France's burgeoning video game and esports sectors, as he has previously celebrated achievements by French teams and emphasized gaming's cultural and artistic value. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a turn-based RPG inspired by genre classics, has garnered significant critical acclaim alongside its impressive sales figures, positioning Sandfall Interactive prominently on the global gaming stage right from their first release. Next news: Nintendo has officially reconfirmed a list of 12 first-party games originally released for the Nintendo Switch that will receive free software updates designed for the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 console. According to Nintendo, these updates are intended to improve playability on the new hardware. This could involve enhancements to performance aspects like resolution and frame rates, or the addition of Switch 2-specific features such as game share in certain titles. The specific content of the updates will vary from game to game. The confirmed list of titles set to receive these free upgrades includes ARMS, Pokémon Scarlet, Pokémon Violet, Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario, 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics, known as 51 Worldwide Games in Europe, The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening 2019, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom Game Builder Garage New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and Big Brain Academy, Brain vs. Brain. Nintendo also reiterated that separate, potentially paid enhanced versions might be offered for other major titles, citing The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom as examples previously announced. Next news: following the rollout of the significant Nintendo Switch System Update version 20.0.0, which introduced features preparatory for the Switch 2 launch like data transfer and game share, some users encountered technical difficulties. Reports emerged worldwide regarding error code 2206-1015 and potentially related codes like 2206-1014, appearing primarily when users restarted their consoles after applying the update. This error could prevent the system from starting up properly. Nintendo quickly acknowledged the problem, stating they were investigating the issue. Shortly thereafter, the company released a subsequent system update, version 20.0.1, specifically designed to resolve the 2206-1015 error code. For users whose consoles were rendered unusable by the error, Nintendo provided instructions to perform the 20.001 update via the console's maintenance mode. This involved fully powering off the Switch, then holding down both volume buttons while pressing the power button to access the maintenance mode menu, from which the system update could be initiated. Next, news: Apple users are being warned about a significant set of security vulnerabilities, collectively dubbed AirBorne, affecting the AirPlay protocol and its associated software development kit, SDK. Discovered by security firm Oligo, these 23 flaws could potentially allow attackers on the same Wi-Fi network to compromise AirPlay-enabled devices without any user interaction. Zero-click. The risks include remote code execution, RCE, access, bypass, denial of service, malware deployment, data interception, and eavesdropping. This makes users particularly vulnerable on public Wi-Fi networks found in places like airports and coffee shops. While Apple has issued patches for its own devices, iPhones, iPads, Macs, Apple TV, the vulnerability extends to a wide array of third-party products like smart TVs, speakers, and even potentially car systems that integrate AirPlay via the SDK. These third-party devices may lag significantly in receiving updates or might never be patched, leaving them as potential entry points for attackers, even if the user's primary Apple devices are up to date. Security experts strongly recommend users update all their Apple and AirPlay compatible devices immediately. Additionally, disabling the AirPlay feature when it's not actively needed is advised as a further precaution to minimize the attack surface. Next, News Nintendo has announced the purchasing schedule for its new official wireless GameCube controller, designed for the Nintendo Switch 2, specifically for customers in North America. This controller release coincides with the addition of GameCube titles to the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack service, which will be playable exclusively on the Switch 2. The controller, resembling the original GameCube pad but featuring wireless connectivity and additional buttons required for Switch 2 compatibility, like a C button, will be priced at $64.99 USD, $84.99 CAD. An early purchase access window will be available for select invitation recipients from May 8th to May 12th, 2025. Following this initial period, starting May 13th, the controller will be available for purchase by all paid Nintendo Switch Online members. Nintendo has stated there will be a limit of one controller purchase per Nintendo account initially. While designed for the optimal GameCube NSO experience, Nintendo notes the controller is optional and officially compatible only with the Switch 2 system, warning there might be issues when attempting to use it with other games. Pre-orders have already opened in other regions like the UK. Next news, Microsoft is taking a significant step towards a password-free future by implementing passkeys as the default authentication method for newly created Microsoft accounts. Instead of being prompted to create and remember a traditional password during sign-up, users will be guided to set up more secure, modern alternatives. These methods primarily include passkeys, which utilize cryptographic keys stored securely on the user's device and are often authenticated via biometrics, like Windows Hello, Face ID, or fingerprint sensors, or hardware security keys. Microsoft Authenticator app push notifications are another favored passwordless option. This marks the first time new Microsoft accounts can be entirely passwordless from inception. Previously, a password had to exist alongside other methods. Microsoft cites significantly higher login success rates for passkeys, 98%, compared to passwords, 32%, as a key driver for this change. The company is also rolling out a redesigned sign-in interface across the board that prioritizes these passwordless options for both sign-in and sign-up. While existing users can still use their passwords, they are encouraged to delete them via account settings and adopt passkeys for enhanced security against phishing and other common threats. Next news, cybersecurity experts are warning about the increasing ease and prevalence of phishing attacks specifically designed to bypass common forms of multi-factor authentication, MFA, such as one-time passwords, OTPs, delivered via SMS or authenticator apps, and push notifications. A growing ecosystem of phishing as a service, PHYIS toolkits, with names like Tycoon 2FA, Evil Proxy, and Mamba 2FA, enables even less sophisticated attackers to deploy adversary in the middle, AITM, attacks. These attacks work by setting up a proxy server that sits between the victim and the legitimate website they are trying to log into. The victim is lured to a convincing fake login page hosted by the attacker. When the victim enters their username and password, the proxy forwards it to the real site. The real site then sends the MFA challenge, OTP or push request, back to the proxy, which forwards it to the victim. The victim, believing they are interacting with the real site, provides the OTP or approves the push notification, which the proxy then captures and relays to the legitimate service, successfully compromising the account by stealing the session cookie. The core vulnerability lies in the fact that these common MFA factors are themselves phishable. Phishing-resistant MFA methods based on the FIDO2 WebAuthn standard, such as hardware security keys, like YubiKeys and passkeys, are strongly recommended as they bind the authentication cryptographically to the legitimate website's domain and the user's device, effectively neutralizing ATM threats. Next, news fans eagerly awaiting the release of Hollow Knight Silksong have received confirmation of a specific date when the game will be playable, albeit with a significant caveat. The highly anticipated sequel from Australian developer Team Cherry will be featured and playable as part of the Game Worlds exhibition at ACMI, Australia's National Museum of Screen Culture, in Melbourne. The exhibition is scheduled to run from September 18, 2025 through February 8, 2026. Alongside displays detailing the game's art, design, and logic, visitors will have the opportunity for hands-on playtime. However, this news does not clarify the game's actual launch date, which is still only confirmed for sometime in 2025 for Nintendo Switch, Switch 2, and PC, with PlayStation and Xbox versions to follow. It remains unknown whether the museum's playable version will be available before or after the game's general release, or if it will be a limited demo or the full experience. While providing excitement and a concrete date for some form of access, the ACMI appearance doesn't resolve the long-standing mystery surrounding Silksong's official release timing.